Hi, magandang araw. Ako nga po pala si Sir Gian at ito po ang numero ni G. Pag-usapan po natin ngayon ang computing mean of discrete probability distribution. No? Paano ba tayo nagko-compute ng mean? Yung mean kasi it means for the average kasi eh. Now, paano tayo magko-compute ng mean ng mga probability distribution? No? It means kung alam mo yung constructing probability distribution ay dapat maintindihan mo muna yun bago ka magpunta dito. No? At least para kahit paano may konting idea ka at makakasunod ka. Okay, so huwag tayo magpahuli pa at simulan na po natin.
So pag-usapan naman po natin ang computing mean of discrete probability distribution. So ano nga po ba ang ibig sabihin ng mean? The mean of a discrete random variable x is also called the expected value of x. It is the weighted average of all the values of the random variable x. So pag sinabi nating mean class, average, overall feedback, overall scores ng mga students, overall feedback ng mga customers, overall feedback ng mga respondents. Ito yung mean na to, siya yung magpapakita sa atin ng overall evaluation sa isang event. Okay? So, ano nga po ba ang formula sa pag-solve ng mean ng discrete random variable formula? Now, discrete random variable formula, which is, the formula is mean is equal to the summation of x times p of x. Where the mu ang tawag dyan mu, Greek letter siya. Then, that is mean of the discrete probability distribution. And then the capital letter x, it is considered as the discrete random variable. And then the p of x is the probability of the outcome x. No? So, that's capital letter dapat yun eh. Okay? So, simulan na po natin. Now, the researchers surveyed the household in a small town. The probability distribution of x is shown below. So the number of household x is 0, 1, 2. And then the probability of the each of number of household is 0, 0.25, 0.50, and 0.25. How can we, now let us find the mean or the expected value of x. So let us solve. First, lagi nyo tatandaan, ang solution natin ay ganito. Yung dalawang column ay galing po yan sa given. So that is given. And then yung x times p of x, yan po ay formula para makuha natin yung mean ng discrete probability distribution. Now, pag sinabi natin x times p of x, we can multiply the value of x times and p of x. Now, if we get the value of x times p of x, no? So, ang gagawin lang natin is to multiply 0 to 0.25. Now, so, i-multiply lang natin si 0 at saka si 0.25, that is 0. Okay? Now, next. Dito naman, since hindi na 0 times 0.25, per row ang pagmumultiply, ha? So, this is 1 times 0.50. So, this is 0.50. And then, for the next is 2 times 0.25, that is 0.5 pa din. Or 0.50 or 0.5 ay parehas lang din naman yan. So, therefore, ang kasunod na gagawin natin is to get the value of summation of p of x. So, sabi nga ng summation ay i-add po natin. Sa pag-add po, ano po yung i-add natin? Yung summation of x ay yung x times p of x. It means, lahat po ng value natin dito ang kukunin natin. So, 0 plus 0.50 plus 0.50 is 1. So, therefore, the answer is, the answer for summation of x times p of x is 1. Kasi pinag-add lang po natin lahat ng nasa p of x. X times p of x. Now, let us solve now for the mean. Mean now is equals to summation of x times p of x. Now, so pag sinolve natin siya, tatandaan nyo sa pag-solve ng mean ng discrete probability distribution, kung ano lang po yung naging sagot natin sa summation of x times p of x, which is same lang din siya as your mean. So, therefore, our mean is 1. Saan nakuha yung 1? Yung value mo kanina sa summation of x times p of x. Okay, so yan na po yung sagot natin sa number 1. The average of number of household is 1. Okay, now, let's proceed to next. Yan. Surgery patients. The table shows the probability that a surgeon operates. Number of patients, x, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the probabilities of 3 patients is 0.15. The probability of 4 patient is 0.10. The probability of 5 patient is 20. And the probability of 6 patient is 0.25. And the probability of 7 patient is 0.30. Let us find the average of this surgeon on a day. Okay? Now, so same solution pa din. Same lang din po yung gagawin natin. Multiply lang tayo. Yung dalawang column, ayan po ay given. Yung x times p of x, yan po yung formulation para sa pag-solve ng mean. Now, so ang gagawin lang natin ay sa unang part, ang imumultiply po natin ay yung 3 at saka yung 0.15. So that is 0.45. And then, dito naman po sa part na to, ang imumultiply naman natin ay yung 4 at saka yung 0.10. That is 0.4. Nasusundan? Okay. Now, next, dito tayo. Sa kasunod naman is 5 times 0.20. So, that is 1. And then, next, sa part naman na to is yung 6 times 0.25. That is 1.5. Yan. And then, next is 7 times 0.30. That is 2.1 or 2.10. Now, to get the value of summation of x times p of x, i-add lang po natin lahat ng mga nandito. So, paano po natin siya i-add? Siyempre, i-add natin 0.45 plus 0.40 plus 1 plus 1.5 plus 2.1. So, that is 5.45. So, yung summation of x times p of x is 5.45. Okay? Burahin natin siya. And then, let us solve now the value of mean. So, for getting the value of mean, which is summation of x times p of x. So, therefore, the value of summation of x times p of x, or yung mean, which is our answer also, to summation of x times p of x, which is 5.45. So, this is our mean. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, yung average patient netong surgeon na to is 5.45. Anyway, bago po natin malaman, yung mean nga po pala ay hindi siya pwedeng bumaba sa pinakamababang number at hindi siya pwedeng tumaas sa pinakamataas na number. Yun yung tinatawag nating mean. Yung mean kasi is a measures of central tendency. Pag sinabi nating measures of central tendency, nasa center sila. Nasa mga pagitan, hindi ko mo central is center. Pagitan po, yun po ang ibig sabihin niya. Okay? So, yan yung mean natin sa ating example number 2. Let's proceed now to our example number 3. A table shows the probability that a customer will buying items in a grocery store. What is the average number of items that a customer will buy? Now, dito naman ay isang fraction. Sa number of items, kapag isa lang po ay 3 over 10. Sa 2 naman po is 1 over 10. Sa 3 naman is 1 over 10 din. Sa 4 is 2 over 10 at sa 5 ay 3 over 10. Now, let us find now the mean. Okay? Sa pag-solve ng mean na ito, class, kapag sinolve natin ang mean, since, sir, ito medyo mahirap to, sir, feeling ko po. Ganun lang din ang gagawin natin, yung x times p of x, hindi naman po magbabago yan. Okay? Hindi po siya magbabago. Ngayon, ang problema lang natin, paano ka mag-multiply ng whole number sa fraction? Ganito lang siya, basic rules. Sa basic rules kasi, sa basic rules ay yung whole number imumultiply mo dun sa numerator lang ng fraction, which is yung 1 at saka yung 3. So 1 times 3, that is 3. Then copy yung denominator, which is 10. So meron ka ng x times p of x. Next, 2, imumultiply mo lang siya dun sa numerator, which is yung 1. So that is 2 times 1, that is 2 over 10. O, di ba? Ganun lang siya. Then, isa pa. Dito naman, para makuha natin x times p of x, i-multiply mo lang yung 3 na whole number dun sa numerator niya na 1. So, this is 3 over 10. Kopyahin mo lang, sir. May nasisimplify kasi dyan yung 2 over 10. Huwag nyo munang isisimplify, ha, kung ako tatanungin nyo. Kasi, mahihirapan tayong mag-add kapag iba-iba ang denominator. Though may mga magagaling sa math na kaya naman nilang mag-add nun. Pero, again, this video is for basic approaches. Okay? Now, next. Yung 4, imumultiply natin yan sa 2. So, magiging 8 over 10. Now, and then sa number 5, which is, imumultiply mo lang siya sa 3. So, 5 times 3, that is 15 over 10. Now, meron na tayong summation of x times p of x. Now, so, meron na tayong value of x times p of x pala, sorry. So, ibig sabihin, isosolve na po natin yung summation of x times p of x. So, ang gagawin lang natin is to add them. 3 over 10 plus 2 over 10 plus 3 over 10 plus 8 over 10 plus 15 over 10. So, which is over 10, okay? That is over 10. And then, bakit over 10, sir? Kasi pare-parehas ng denominator. Pero kung sinimplify nyo yung mga dapat isimplify dyan, baka mahirapan kayo. No? Kaya ini-encourage ko kayo na kapag alam nating pare-parehas naman yung or may mga nasisimplify, pero sa tingin mong pare-parehas naman yung denominator, wag nyo muna isimplify. No? And then, i-add nyo lang po ito. That is 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 8 is 16, 16 plus 15 is 31 over 10. Now, sa pagkuha ng mean, pwede naman siya naka-fraction na ganyan, pero much better na kinukuha natin siya into hindi fraction. So, this is 31 over 10, that is 3.1. Sir, saan nakuha yung 3.1? 31 divided by 10. Kaya siya naging 3.1. Yan. So, our summation of x times p of x is 3.1. Now, nahihirapan ka ba sa pag-solve ng fraction? Una, gawin nyo, kapag ka-solve nyo ng x times p of x, ang gagawin nyo lang po, kahit na wag na yung fraction ng ilagay nyo, kahit yung decimal point na niya. So, yung 3 over 10, pag ginawa mo sa fraction, sa decimal yan, is 0.3. By what? 3 divided by 10. Ganun din dito. 2 divided by 10, that is 0.2. 3 divided by 10, that is 0.3. 8 divided by 10, that is 0.8. And 15 divided by 10, that is 1.5. Ngayon din, pag pinag-add mo yung mga decimal digit na yun, which is same pa din, ay 3.1. Okay? So, therefore, mean now is equals to summation of x times p of x. So, ayan na po siya. So, change mo lang yung value niya, which is 3.1. So, our mean of the number of items in a grocery store is 3.1. So, I hope na natutunan nyo, may natutunan po kayo sa ating lesson sa sa video ito. Okay? That's all for our video.
At sana ay patuloy kang sumubaybay at manood at patuloy pang matuto pagdating sa mathematics. Muli po, ako po si Sir Gian at ito po ang numero ni G. Nagsasabi sa inyo ng isang kasaysayan. Goodbye and God bless you.